Raiders.
Here we go. I spent the whole M on some clothes. Got a bonus, I sold out the show. Gonna like a pot on the stove. Yeah, like AP on all of my. I like when that wet on the toes. Picture me riding around in that rose. I put some ice on my wrist, it was swole. Then I got kinda with you. All of these, my body, I got paid somebody keep checking my pose. Walking in club with no warning, take care of the money. They swing on the water on me like the sunny. I shine when it's sunny, this platinum and rose. Gonna out the street when I go to DC, I'ma see the mode. Every time I'm gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. A few moments ago, the emotional leader of the Chiefs defense, Eric Berry, making his way out of the tunnel. He and his mates will get set to do battle with the Oakland Raiders. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Haoli Kikaha in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Green 90.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Des Bryant with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead.
Nice catch. Touchdown. Nice catch, Oakland. Good job, Oakland.
And now the Raiders actually going to line up here to go for two. Now a toss coming right side. That's Jacobs. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. They get the conversion. And, Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, and if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's Mahomes to throw. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Yeah, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. In for the score. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6.
Not yet.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Throw this away.
No, you will.
No, I don't want it.
Yes, you do.
No,
On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio.
It's Grammy and the
And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake.
Papa?
Yes.
And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts. Not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 10 carries, 53 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Hey, why are you screaming like that?
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2.
Yeah, stop screaming.
Come on, let's go.
A toss running left. It's Jacobs. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6 and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6.
And
now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage. Hunt gets it on the draw from Mahomes. And they see right through that defensively. As he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Yeah, we're going to grab it. Just shut up already. We gotta grab it tomorrow.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Oh, he shifts past him. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside, they can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. And he's got his tight end, Cook, in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders.
Yes.
Jared Cook with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the silver and black continue to roll. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
And now a two-point conversion attempt forthcoming.
Let's go!
The toss running left. It's Jacobs. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about, from the offense's perspective, what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there to 22. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Green 90. Green 90.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bruce Irvin in there for a milestone sack, number 150 in his great career as he continues to climb the all-time leaderboard.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, They lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer.
Oh, shit, see how mad she got.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Man, those numbers from last week. What do you call a game like that? Monumental? A career game?
Yeah, every one of those adjectives you can pull up. Monumental, mammoth, massive. But you also know that he wants another one just like it in this game. He doesn't plan on slowing down.
Man, if he duplicates that, that would be history. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not feeling like they've got something there and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time, 1 play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a little steam going.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Nope.
The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
And he finds Cook. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. And now the Raiders actually going to line up here to go for two.
Let's go.
Now a toss coming right side. That's Jacobs. And make him 4 for 4 now on two-point conversions as he'll take this one in for the score. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But, Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a two-point conversion differently than if it was first and goal from the two, or I should say third and goal from the two.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives.
Get away! I cannot see.
Well, you know how
I know what you're doing. What
gets a
you want?
base hit and he's on base. They bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm. A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Green 90. Green.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Now the Raiders bringing the offense onto the field as they'll try to make it an 8-point swing.
Come on, let's go.
A toss running left. It's Jacobs. And make him 4 for 4 now on two-point conversions as he'll take this one in for the score. So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the two-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. And we're back to Arrowhead after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Here we go.
Cut it off,
Green,
dude.
90. Green, 90.
Mahomes now to throw. Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Ray Malaluga. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2.
Let's go.
Now a toss coming right side. It's Jacobs. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
We got 4. Here we go now. Green, 39.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Green, 39. Green, 39.
He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup. And throwing it downfield, Charles. They just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle here to Brown. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Antonio Brown, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are pouring it on.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out and decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation.
And the Raiders have got him. Haoli Kikaha in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category.
Yes. You hungry? Yeah, eat your food. That's yours. Huh? Yeah, it's yours.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game.
But there, your juice. Okay. Got it?
Back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on the punt for Kansas City. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. With it is Brown. Brown with his stick skills. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looking to throw. Hall. He's going to rifle one deep. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Des Bryant with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the silver and black continue to roll. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Ready. Green, 39.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and a great... Oh, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now Brown. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
How is it good? Yeah, I actually taste it, so it tastes good. Thank you. Yeah.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Yeah. Okay.
Here we
Sorry.
go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Dez Bryant becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Raiders are pouring it on. So a tiptoe catch back in the end zone, so tough to do, but he made it look pretty easy.
Certainly did, and the back of the end zone is treated the same way as the sideline. You have to get your feet down in bounds for it to count as a catch. How about the backgrounds of some of these guys, though? Did they work on it? Maybe some of them were ballet, some dance, who knows?
Yeah, you and I were talking the other day. I remember one of my favorite kids shows growing up. I don't know that I want to name it, but guys like Lynn Swann, they used to be on there showing their ballet skill.
And you have to remember when they were kids and their parents were telling them to take the ballet classes, you know they were fighting them like crazy. But right now they're saying...
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2.
Here we go. 190.
A toss running left. It's Jacobs. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game. that two-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for two, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for two early? That's what people are wondering about.
And we shift our focus to Isaiah Crowell. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
Yeah, and as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Mahomes going to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Pulled in at the 24. Brown with his stick skills. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out.
Come on, let's go!
Are you?
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Yeah.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they do.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
4 down, 4 down.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the silver and black continue to roll.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for two. They're going to try and run. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the two-point conversion to extend this lead. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the two-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the two-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Sit on the ground then. Come on.
Now Sammy Watkins and the rest of the offense getting set to go again. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. They begin with a run by Crowell. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On second down, here's Crowell. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And they let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forced. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Oakland. Fielded at the 20. A beautiful fake. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Looking depth. That's caught inside the 20. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Yes.
And now here comes Kansas City. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them putting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of...
Mahomes hit. He lost the football.
Yes, babe.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And yet again, nowhere to run. This time maybe we'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? It's like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, standing just outside his own goal line. And taken right at the 35. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Space to run past the 20. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, my education continues in this game, I've got to tell you, because there's not an analyst in the world that would have said pass up the field goal here, go for it, and expect for it to be successful, and it was. I mean, they're playing this one just like a video game.
Especially for the final play of the first half to have the guts to do that. But I guess, what do we say? The end will justify the means, right?
No doubt about it. For you and me, we live, we learn.
And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he's going to go down in the field of play. So they say no to the field goal try, and time has run out on this first half. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And now running right through it. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Yeah. Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Antonio Brown with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And the Raiders are pouring it on. Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2. toss running left. That's Jacobs. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to on 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Okay.
This one taken from the 7.
Yeah.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now Mahomes. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Manti Te'o leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Taken from just outside the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the time
one
we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Now they'll run it on the toss. Finding room inside the 40. A big play that time for the Raiders. 41 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. It's the fullback. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the silver and black continue to roll. And they just powered it in right there, Charles. 3 tight ends out on the field. The fullbacks for the defense, they knew what was coming.
They knew, but they weren't able to stop them. They knew they had to meet them with a little bit of force. But on that play, the big guys up front won the day.
Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2. They'll try and run it here. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. And out come the Chiefs now. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Here's a give to Crowell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or 2.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going deep for this is caught inside the 15. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown, 65 yards. And the Raiders are pouring it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Up big, and they go.
In high school and seeing an article in the paper where a local columnist had said, why are we fighting over sportsmanship and running up the score? Just run it up on everybody and deal with it. Some people just don't care that way, and obviously this coach feels the exact same way.
So that article was saying the defense should be able to stop them.
That's what they're trying to say. Hey, if you don't want it to happen, stop them. Otherwise, quit whining about it.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Ready, green 39, green 39.
Now here's Mahomes, and his pass incomplete.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here we go, green 90, green 90.
Out of the gun now on third down. And that is incomplete. And the safety, Carl Joseph, there to knock that one away. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
I love you.
Des Bryant now, he gears up to help lead this offense again. For him, what an accomplishment in this game, surpassing the 2,000-yard mark. And all the time we talk about these guys out wide like him that are so athletic and can do so many things. But take us a little deeper. How has he done it this year?
Well, you helped with this because when we sat down with him before the game and discussed his season, and you said to him, okay, I have a vision that you, similar to a pitcher, change up a lot of things, right? Different arm angles, different slots that a pitcher would do. You do that with your route running and all that. And I loved his response. One of his best friends is a world-ranked tennis player, and he talked about serves and how you change up, take pace off, do different things, and he incorporated that into his route running.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw it is Hall. Throwing on first down. Going deep here for Bryant. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Des Bryant standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown. And the silver and black continue to roll. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2. A toss running left. That's Jacobs. And they're just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And now here comes Kansas City. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They'll run it again with Crowell. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
Now back to throw. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He has had a whale of a game. In the third quarter, you're already over 200 yards. I don't know what more he can do at this point.
Not a whole lot, and what he has found is that zone that we always talk about, where every carry feels great. Every carry potentially is a sprint to the end zone.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Des Bryant taking it in. And the Raiders are pouring it on. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes. Someone delivering it accurately. Offensive line giving him time to throw the ball. A true team record. But he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2. They're going to try and run. And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points. Nothing fancy there on that 2-point try. Give it to the big boy. Let him go to work.
That almost felt like sandlot football that we used to play, didn't it? Biggest guy on your team who can carry the ball, hand it to him and let him rumble.
Nobody picked me on the sandlot football team.
You were quarterback, and I know better.
I was the water boy. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense...
Third time. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. He was looking for Matthews that time.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And now here come the Raiders. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. It's the fullback with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. And I want to give the big guy some credit because he deserves it, but where was the defense there? Because he's not a burner.
I think they fooled him big time by handing him the football. It's not normal for him to touch it very often on a running play. I think the defense was just ill-prepared for that eventuality.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, ah!
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Here we go now.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down. On 1st and 10, Hall. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Jared Cook with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the silver and black continue to roll.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. Back to throw. Hall. And incomplete. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen, they see the blocks happen, they feel really good about their vision, and then they use...
There he goes, right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A big play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Raiders are pouring it on. Well, that one's hard to believe. Not something you see every day. A very long run for the big guy.
Normally we see his counterpart, right? The scat back, the guy with the so-called speed. But we saw a little bit of everything there, didn't we? The big, powerful man with the football. He can also stretch it out a little bit in the open field.
Tavecchio to add the PAT. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff team on the field now is...